The final question is brought to you by Cross Country Mortgage, America's crazy good mortgage company. Go to ccmlens.com/take to learn more about your future home buying experience or refinancing needs. Equal housing opportunity. Can we talk about some of your tweets? Because you got some good tweets. You tweet from the heart.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about this one.
What's that?
The one from January 2014, all caps. Man, when we played in that cold weather, we was cold.
Right. Now get this. I speak for a living. I speak for a living. I know we work cold. But
no, that's not even the funny part. It's just like you're basically implying that it was colder.
It's not as cold anymore as it used to be.
Right.
This pussy-ass weather's gotten warmer, which I guess you could say.
Let me tell you how this all happened. And this was my ignorance, too. Right? Because I was, back then, what I had just started tweeting and messing with people, right? And it was during games. And somebody was saying stuff, and I was tweeting back at them literally on purpose like that. Because if you notice, I said something else, but that one didn't carry over like this. I was saying like, boy, them boys show is hitting hard. Not show are hitting. Those guys show are hitting hard. Show is hitting hard, because I was laughing. Everybody, man, Mike, what do you can't talk like this. And I was just laughing and putting more stuff out there, never knowing that this is going to live forever.
Yep.
People, I was so ignorant. When was that date again?
2014.
That's when I first started. I didn't know that we'll be in 2020. That has more retweets than anything I've ever accomplished in my life.
But is it true?
Which is amazing.
Is it true? Was it cold? Were you cold back then when it was cold?
It's out. If we're playing in cold weather, it's cold. That was the whole gist of it. That's the whole gist of messing with people, But it's so funny. And now, all the people that see it now, they just say, wow, what a dummy. Who writes like this? You know what I mean? They don't know the gist of it was around us having some fun with people on Twitter during the football game that we were watching, and it was a cold football game.
I love that one, and whenever there is a cold game, it becomes appropriate. And then the other one was and
everybody retweets it.
Every time it's a cold game. The other one is a great just take. You said, this was more recent, you said, since I'm not a beer drinker, maybe it's just me, but I believe that Corona beer should not be running their commercials at this time. Sorry, I want to hear how a Corona gets its lime while the coronavirus is getting lives.
Yeah, and I was serious with that, even though we joked about it. I thought, let's pull back right now.
Yeah.
And this is what caught me. I was watching some broadcasts, and they were talking about how many lives coronavirus had taken. Mm-hmm. And then the next thing out of that was a commercial about corona. And I understand that it had nothing to do with anything. I understand that. I understand that one had nothing to do with the other. But as we always talk about in this business, the optics didn't look good. Mm-hmm. The optics, I'm feeling something emotional here about losing people to this. And I don't know, maybe we should have just talked about it as COVID-19 and help Corona beer out. But coming off coronavirus just took 200 and 300,000 lives, and then I got a Corona beer commercial coming on right after that. Talk about Corona gets his line. It was just, I just thought the optics, it wasn't good, and it was, so I tweeted that. That was
I like that.
Yeah, the timing was just a little strange. I think that's what it comes down to. Yeah. One of my favorite appearances that you've ever had on television was back in 2018 when you debated the great Stephen A. Smith on First Take about the Dallas Cowboys. I think it was before a Titans-Cowboys game, maybe a Monday night game, and he was doing his thing, wearing his big cowboy hat. I don't think I've ever seen a sweatier human being in my life than Michael Irvin on that set. Was that real sweat when you were yelling at Stephen A. Smith, or did you splash water on your face beforehand?
No. For some reason, and I had him on my podcast, I swear to you, I had him on the podcast, and I was sitting there talking to him. It's something about him. Stephen A. is a great friend of mine. We both started over at Fox Sports Net with Best Damn Sports Show. We were working that show together way back in the day, and he's a great friend of mine. So we just get into these heavy debates. We don't just do this on TV. I mean, the other day, Sunday when I'm on, he's tweeting. What? Mike, what garbage are you talking about on TV right now about the Cowboys? So even when we talk personally, we're still in those heavy debates. And when I had him on my podcast, I said, that's what I said. I got Stephen A. on again. And as I'm sitting there talking to him, I started sweating again. For some reason, this joker just makes me sweat. It's not like I'm nervous. I do TV 5 times a week. You know what I mean? But for some reason, this joker gets under my skin and makes me sweat. But I love him. We have great fun, man. And how blessed are we, those guys? Really, to be talking about sports, talking and doing the things that we do, and being able to call it a job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you joking?
Yep.
Are you joking? Like, when I come home sometimes, man, and I come home and people ask, can you go do this? I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm in New York on Mondays and Tuesdays. I'm Wednesday and Thursday. I'm wherever the Thursday night football game is. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I got to be in L.A. I'm only home on Tuesday nights, right, and Sunday nights. And you guys want me to go do this, go do this, go do this. I said, I've been working all week. You know what they say to me? You've been working. You've been watching football games and talking.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But it is work, and we're blessed to have opportunity to call it a job.
Yeah, you're right. And you have a podcast which just came out, what was like a month ago, the Michael Irvin podcast, MIP. But you're right. Like, when we're sitting here on Sunday, we watch 12 hours of football and then talk. Right. And I'm tired, but then I have to think and be like, wait, I'm tired, but I'm also living the dream. Yeah.
Right. But get this now. Get this. And let me help you with your tired. I get more tired at this than I did at playing. And let me explain that, which is fun, which is fascinating here. Think about it. Like, I could play a game. You play a game. Play Arizona, 210 yards in that game, man. I remember Lorenzo Lynch in warm-ups. We're playing the Cardinals. What Cardinals? The Cardinals, and this guy, Lorenzo Lynch, Michael, I'm gonna be with you all day. You sucker. I was like, oh, okay. I was. Thanks for waking me up. Thanks for waking me up today. Right? Second play of the game, I go 87 yards. I end up with 210 yards in that day. That game killed this guy. I go home. I should be exhausted after that day, but I can't sleep. My mind is racing. I'm thinking about the play that I should have made, the play that got away. Forget the 210 yards. Forget the 3 touchdowns. I should have had 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. And my mind races all night. That's why after a game, most guys do a lot of drinking, because the mind is racing all night about what went on in the game. We should have done this or could have done this. We could have won. We could have done this. You can't rest. Your mind is racing. Your body's exhausted, but your mind is racing. So you're having a few drinks to try to not go to sleep, just pass out. But in this, when you're exhausted here in the mind. Mm-hmm. In the body, when the body's exhausted, the mind can still race. When the mind is exhausted, it's shut down.
That's right.
It's shut down. And I said, wow, that's interesting. I mean, I'm on shutdown sometimes after a long Sunday, and I never was on shutdown after a long game on Sunday.
Yeah, no, it's a good point.
Respect the media guys out there that not only
it's harder
to watch
podcast
sports than it is to play sports. I agree with that.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
Thank you for the respect,
That's a great
Michael.
point.
Also, my body
point.
is exhausted at the end of the day because we eat like buffalo wings and
just
Chinese food.
slumped over in a chair.
And our
so
posture,
it's harder to podcast than to play in the NFL.
Players have great posture. We have terrible. Our bodies are just attacking themselves all Sunday.
I just say I'm helping people understand how the body works.
No, you said it. You did it. Yeah.
I would never say that as somebody that hasn't played in the NFL. Right. But since you're the playmaker, you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, you've done both.
Right.
So it makes sense.
Physical exhaustion. Yeah. There's physical exhaustion, but mental exhaustion is more exhausting.
Yes.
Is how I should say that. That's how I should play that.
Before we let you go, I had a little birdie tell me that you had a thing with white tee shots. Like some background with white tee shots. What's that about?
Yeah, and I just learned about white tee shots because I'm a vodka drinker. You know, I usually drink vodka cranberry. And every time if I'm any place, what do I always get? Guys always, I order a drink. Michael, you a big black guy. You drinking that little soft drink? Like, yeah, that's what I drink. I'm going to have a vodka cranberry. So they always want to have shots. And they always want to do tequila, and I can't do that stuff, man. So my boy, one of my boys, a friend of mine, he was telling me about that. He was telling me, he said, man, I take green tea. And I said, what is green tea? And he was explaining to me what green tea is. He said, but there's a shot called a white tea. It's a green tea with vodka. I was like, oh, okay. So now I have something when, you know, because you're out, people, I'm at dinner, can I buy you a shot? I'm like, I don't want any tequila, but you can get me a white tea. So now a white tea has become my shot to drink. I love it.
That's
like
your go-to
that.
drink. That's safe because, if you stay up just ripping vodka or ripping tequila, 2 or 3 of those, and you're going to have a bad night. White tea, it's like a third of a drink for one, and you still look like you're partying.
And I can still do some functioning the next day. You know, it's funny. As a comedian, I love a comedian. He was talking about tequila. He said, you can tell how your date is going to go by what the girl orders. And it's a funny comedian. I don't forget who it was. He said, if she orders a glass of wine, you may be sitting in there talking about a family down the road somewhere. You're going to be talking about what you want to do, getting married. He said, if she orders a beer, y'all may be talking some sports. You might have something right there. You know, if she orders tequila, you just turn around and say, yeah, I'm in there tonight. Because tequila, anytime she orders tequila, you're in there tonight. And I think that's, I guess in my experience, that has proven to be true.
If she orders a Fireball, just get ready to pay the $200 Uber surcharge for cleaning the cab out later.
Tequila is the party starter.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But tequila is the party starter.